the top 30 visits I was taking, the interviews that I was having with these teams. Some teams at the end of the first round were kind of like not even telling me like, you're probably not going to be there when we're there anyways. So like, nice to meet you. But yeah. So it
had to be a great feeling when they say that too.
Yeah, I was like,
and you probably won't be there, but good luck in your career. And you're like, oh, I might not be there actually.
What's up, Titans family? Welcome back to All Out Titans podcast. Do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. Thank you so much for all your love and support, Titans family. I really, really appreciate it. You have no idea how much it means to me. We have terrible news. Will Levis went on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast. Now, you guys know I am a huge fan of Bussin' with the Boys podcast. I really am. I am a diehard fan of Bussin' with the Boys. I have been watching that podcast and listening to that podcast ever since the start. When they very first had Delaney Walker on as their very first guest, talking about how like the Titans almost killed him. Big thing I really like about the podcast is they always talk about the Titans because Taylor Lewan and Will Compton were both Titan players. Taylor Lewan is one of my favorite Titans of all time. I've always loved Taylor Lewan ever since we drafted him. I'm not a real big fan of like the mullet with the mustache, but honestly, if anyone's going to pull it off, it's going to be Taylor. The Bussin' with the Boys podcast, every time they interview a Titans player or a Titans coach, within a very short time, that player or that coach is no longer with the organization or they get hurt. Derrick Henry went on the podcast. He got injured. Kevin Byard goes on the podcast. He gets traded. Everybody knows what happened to Isaiah Wilson. The curse really affected him. I have talked about the Bussin' with the Boys curse so many times. I made so many videos about it. I truly believe it's 100% real. Even though I'm a diehard fan of the show, I'm a diehard fan of Taylor and Will, I still think there's a Titans curse that affects that show. Don't get me wrong. I love the episode. I watched the entire thing. I love it. I'm a big fan of Will Levis. I think he's going to turn our team around. I think he's going to be a fantastic quarterback for us. But this has me worried. I am not going to lie. I am very worried about this. I truly believe there is a curse with the Bussin' with the Boys podcast that affects the Tennessee Titans active players. I mean, it happens every time. The host himself, both of them. Will Compton gets released. Taylor Lewan gets hurt multiple times with his knee. But when Will Levis went on, at first I was kind of excited about it. I was like, oh, nice. I'm going to check this out. Huge fan of Will. He's our quarterback. I'm supporting our quarterback just like I ride and died with Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to support Will Levis. I put it on, and then it hits me right away. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Is on Bussin' with the Boys. The Bussin' with the Boys curse is going to take effect for this. And I am freaking the fuck out. I've made so many videos about this before already. I think the second video I ever done on All Out Titans podcast was about the Bussin' with the Boys curse. It's proven that it happens. It happens with so many Titans players. Every time they have them on within a year, something happens to that player. Either they get hurt, released, or traded. It happens every single time. There's only been a few times where it didn't happen. Jeffrey Simmons is the first one I can think of and the only one I can really think of, to be honest. I'm a diehard fan of the show, and I love how they talk about the Titans, and they get Titans players on there. And that's like the big media that the Titans get, because you don't hear about the Titans anywhere. You just don't hear about them. So that's why I love the show so much, because they represent the Tennessee Titans. And yes, I am very worried. Week 1 hasn't even started yet, and Will Levis went on the bus. That bus is cursed. That bus is 100% cursed. Everybody talks about the Madden curse. Everybody talks about the Madden curse. Nobody talks about the Bussin' with the Boys curse because they don't ever see it. That's why I make these videos about it, because I'm trying to show everybody that it's 100% real. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm full of shit. I hope I'm like not correct on this, because I don't want Will to get hurt. But when you go on the bus, you're taking that risk. So if something happens to Will Levis this season, if he gets hurt, released, traded, it is 100% the Bussin' with the Boys' fault. 100%. Taylor and Will should take full responsibility if anything happens to Will Levis. They need to stand up and say, it's 100% our fault. Obviously, there is a curse, because every time we do something like this, it happens. Mark my word, Titans family. If anything happens to Will Levis, it's the Bussin' with the Boys' fault. 100%. 100%. No free shout-outs, but shout-out to Bussin' with the Boys. Big fan of the show. I love the show. But I'm worried. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm worried. Let's just hope to God nothing happens to Will this season. I hope he has a great year. I hope he stays healthy. Do me a favor before you take off. Please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.